kindergarten and first graders. It's Miss Law. Today, we're going to be doing our mindful or our stretching of our body that we've been doing the last few weeks. And then we're going to also be reading this book today called My Daddy is a Pretzel. It's a really fun book that combines the stretches that we've been practicing so far with some mindful movement. So to get started, I want you to make sure of a few things. First of all, make sure that you have enough personal space to safely do PE wherever you're at. So that means putting your two hands out to the side, making sure that you wouldn't knock down or bump anything breakable around you if you were to move your body. Also today, it's good to make sure you have a space where you can lay down on the floor. You'll see I have a yoga mat here. If you'd like to try and find one, great. If you don't have one, do not worry about it. Just find a spot where there's enough room for you to be able to lay down if you needed to. All right, go ahead and press pause if you need to get those things. If not, then we're going to go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and start with stretching out our body like we've been practicing the last few classes together. Everybody touch your neck and say with me, neck. We're going to stretch our neck first. Remember, you don't want to scrunch your shoulders up to your ears, nor do you want to force your ear towards your neck. You just want to gently touch one ear right now. Gently let that ear move towards your shoulder, and you should feel the stretch on your opposite side. Go ahead and touch where you feel the stretch gently, and say it with me, I'm stretching my neck. Good job. Breathe in through your nose and bring your head back to center. Good job. Shake it out. Now we're going to do the other side. Remember, don't scrunch up your shoulders. Just let your ear gently go towards your shoulder. Touch the opposite side where you feel the stretch and say it with me again. I'm stretching my neck. And let it come back to center. Great. Let's move on with our shoulders. Everybody touch their shoulders and say shoulders. This is where you need to make sure you have that personal space we talked about because you're going to start by swinging both arms open and closed. Now just swing one arm. Now I keep that arm straight across my body and my arm that's not in front of my body comes underneath to make a hook. I gently hold and I should be feeling my stretch right here, right now. Say it with me. I am stretching my shoulder. Can you feel the stretch? If not, go ahead and bring your folded arm a little bit closer to your body. Go ahead and release it. Shake it out. Nice job. Swing both arms side to side. Let's stretch our other shoulder. Now the arm that you already stretched, the shoulder you already stretched, leave that arm by your body, by the side of your body. And the other arm comes straight across. You hook underneath and pull your hand towards your body. You should feel your stretch in your opposite shoulder this time. If you accidentally got the same shoulder, it's okay. Go ahead and switch now. Say it with me. I am stretching my shoulder. Good job. And release. Shake it out. Next up is our arms. For this one, I'm going to turn around so you can see what I do. I raise one hand in the air, and I pretend like I have a scratch in the middle of my back. Now, I'm going to, with my opposite hand, I'll turn back around so you can see me. With my opposite hand, I gently pull my elbow, and I'm stretching my arm, the muscle on the underside of my arm. Say it with me. I'm stretching my arm. Shake it out. All right, time to do the other side. Raise your other arm in the air. Scratch in the middle of your back. With your free hand, gently pull on your elbow from above. Say it with me. I'm stretching my arm. Good job. Shake it out. Nice. Now we're going to transition. Oh, actually, we have one more standing one before we transition to the floor to do a couple more stretches. For this one, you want to make sure that you have a wall or a piece of furniture that you can hold on to. For me, I'm going to hold onto my wall over here, a little bit off camera. You're going to bend one knee in front of you, and then bring your foot behind. Reach behind and hold. There's a side version so you can see I'm holding my foot behind my body. My opposite arm is holding the wall so that I don't get wobbly and fall unsafely. All right, say it with me. I am stretching my leg. Right now I'm stretching the muscle in the front of my leg right here called my quadriceps. Go ahead and release it and shake it out. You're going to do the other side. If you feel confident and you want to try, you have enough space to safely do so, and you want to try balancing, the way you can do this stretch is put both arms out to the side. Lift your opposite foot behind you. Notice how I keep my other arm I'm not using out to help me balance in case I get wobbly. And once again, we're stretching the muscle in the front of our leg. If I turn to the side, you can see me holding my foot behind here. And say it with me, I'm stretching my leg. Shake out those legs. Great. Let's go ahead and sit down where we're at, and we can do a couple more stretches once we're on the ground. For this first stretch, I have one foot long in front of me, and my other leg is bent, so the inside of my foot is facing the inside of my leg. I'm going to gently reach forward. If I need to, if I feel a lot of sensation behind my legs in the back, I can gently bend my knee so that it doesn't hurt so much and it allows me to lean forward. But if you can, try and keep your legs straight. And I'm going to reach with one hand on top of the other, gently forward to see if I can touch my toes. If I can't touch my toes, I can reach for my ankle. If I can't reach for my ankle, I can reach for my shin. My shin is that spot between my ankle and my knee. But I should feel the stretch this time on the back side of my leg. So everybody reach for the spot that feels comfortable for you and hold it there. Say it with me. I'm stretching my leg. All right, gently come back all the way up to sitting and switch sides. So your opposite leg is going to go straight in front of you and your other knee is bent. All right, one hand on top of the other and gently reach forward for your toes. Remember, you always have the option to bend your knee if it hurts too bad behind your leg. If you can't reach your toes, reach for your ankle. If you can't reach your ankle, reach for your shins. But find wherever you can reach to and hold it. Now say it with me. I'm stretching my leg. Gently come back on up to sitting. Good job. Last one. I'm going to actually keep this foot straight on the ground. The other foot is going to go flat on the ground too, but my knee is now bent. Now, I'm going to hug my knee with the same side so I have that arm on my knee. I raise my opposite hand in the air, just like this. And now I'm going to put that elbow onto my knee that's bent and look over behind my shoulder. See how my elbow is touching my knee and I'm looking behind me? This stretch stretches our back. Say it with me. I'm stretching my back. And release. Let's do the opposite side. So now my knee that was bent is straight and my other knee is bent. Hug my knee with my hand on the same side so I don't get confused. Raise my opposite hand in the air. Now I'm going to touch that elbow to my knee that's bent. And I'm going to turn around. Notice how I shifted my back hand behind me and I look over my shoulder so I can get that stretch in my back. Say it with me. I'm stretching my back. And release. Awesome. Now we've finished our warm-up stretches and we're ready for some mindful movement. The difference between stretching and mindful movement is just that we add movement to our stretches while we do them. It's super important that while we're doing these poses, that we don't let our bodies get out of control. So your brain really has to listen to your body and to my words to go slowly to safely get your body into each pose. If we do these poses correctly together, our bodies should feel really good in the shapes that we make today. If we ever feel our body say, ouch, that means we're not being safe and we need to take it back a little bit and not push it so far. If our bodies are falling and out of control, that wouldn't be safe either. So go ahead, take a minute, and we're going to go now get started with our book.
Here we are with our book for today. My Daddy is a Pretzel. It's written by Baron Baptiste. I always love when I look at books to look at the title page. That's the first page inside the book that also has the title written on it. My Daddy is a Pretzel. Today in class, we're going to say what jobs our parents do each day. Look at all those students in their classroom. Nikki says her mommy's a gardener. Sometimes I say, my daddy is a tree. I also happen to be a gardener, just like Nikki's mom. Do you know someone in your life that's a gardener? So, we're going to do our first pose together now. Just like our narrator said, their dad was sometimes a tree, but they weren't talking about a tree in the garden. They were talking about a yoga tree. Let's hear the description of tree pose before we do it together. It says, the tree pose teaches us to support ourselves with strong roots so that we can reach high and remain stable, yet be flexible at the same time. All right. Over here on the next page is a series of pictures. I'm going to use my words. I want you to, sometimes our brains want to rush to the pose and do it first. But I'm going to use words to walk us through the pose. So make sure you listen so that you can safely do this pose. Here comes tree pose. But I can't get the camera so that my head and my feet can be in the picture. And it's really important you see my feet for this pose. So I'm going to step back in a second and you won't be able to see my head. But that's okay. Just focus on my words and listen to the cues as I say them. To do tree pose, you want to start with your feet hips distance apart. I want to really pretend like there's roots shooting down into the ground beneath each of my toes wherever my foot is touching the ground. Now, I'm going to gently bend one knee in the sky with my toes pointing forward. Now I'm going to open my leg to the side and I'm going to put that knee in a couple of places. I could put it that foot in a couple of places, I can put it below my knee on my calf. Or if you're flexible enough, you can bend your leg and put it above your knee, but you never want to put it on your knee. If this feels too wobbly and you keep falling over, leave your toes on the ground and put your heel on your ankle with your knee pointing out to the side. It's your choice. For me, it usually feels most comfortable on my calf. Now bring both your hands together over your heart. See if you can stand steady and still. Next, I want you to raise your branches. You won't be able to see mine, but raise yours to the sky and grow them out to the sides even for tree pose. Were you able to do it? Good job. Now we're going to try it on the other foot. All right, shake out your legs. Whichever foot you didn't lift last time. So for me, I bent this knee last time. I bent this knee last time. Now I'm going to bend my opposite one. Bend my knee. Open it to the side. Put it either above or below put my foot either above or below my knee, never on it or next to it. And then start to grow my branches. You can grow your branches tall to the sky, You can grow them out to the sides. Remember, if this feels too wobbly, you're always welcome to leave your toes on the ground and have your foot on your ankle. All right, go ahead and come back down. Awesome. Let's see who's next for share and tell in our story. Lionel says his parents are vets. I say, sometimes my dad is a dog. Vets are veterinarians or doctors that take care of animals. Let's go ahead and see what our narrator was talking about when he said his dad was a dog. The dog pose. Have you ever noticed how supple dogs are when they stretch? The dog pose teaches us to be humble and accept our bodies as they are because almost anyone can practice it. And as with anything, practice makes progress. So now we're going to use our words to listen and safely get our bodies into the dog pose. So for dog pose, I want to start on my hands and knees. I want to make sure that my hands are under my shoulders and my knees are under my hips. Now, I want to pretend and really make sure that I'm rooted into the ground, so press your hands strongly into the floor and tuck your back toes. See how my toes are facing down towards the ground? My next step is I'm going to straighten out my legs and move my hips right here towards the sky. Ready? You're looking down between your hands and lift your hips to the sky. If it hurts behind your legs to do this pose, you can bend your knees like this. Or try and straighten them out and bring your heels gently down to the floor. You're looking between your feet behind you, not at the screen, because you're just listening to my words. Now shake your head side to side. Stick your tongue out like a little dog and say, bow wow, wow wow. Bark like a dog, bark bark. All right, go ahead and walk those feet towards your hands to stand up. And roll yourself all the way up to standing. We only have time for one more pose today from our story. Let's get to it. Chang says, his mom is an architect. I say, sometimes my daddy is a triangle. Can you guess what my pose is called? You're right. It's called the triangle pose. Let's learn a little bit about triangle pose. Triangles are the most stable and strong of all the geometric shapes. The triangle pose teaches us to be strong, to build a foundation of support, and to relax under pressure. Triangles have 3 sides and 3 angles, just as we have 3 aspects: mind, body, and spirit. So now you're going to listen with your words as we safely get our bodies into triangle pose. You won't be able to see my face for the beginning, but don't worry, by the end you'll be able to see me. For triangle pose, start with your feet together. Then you're going to gently, when you land, you don't want to land boom boom like a giant. You want to land really lightly like a mouse. You're going to jump your feet out to the side. My toes are facing the same directions as my shoulder. They're facing forward. Now I'm going to lift up and wiggle my toes on one foot. I'm going to turn those toes so they face the side. Notice how the toes on my feet are facing opposite directions right now. I bring my arms out to the side and I bump my hip forward and gently turn my body to the side. I can bring my hands to my calf, or if you're flexible enough, you could bring it to the ground. But notice how when I come to the ground that my chest turns towards the floor. You want to try and shine your chest and your heart towards the sky, looking up at your hand that's in the air. And gently come on back up to standing. Awesome! Just like with all of our stretches, what we do on one side, we have to do on the other. So notice how I turn my toes back so they're facing the same direction as my shoulders. My opposite toes, the ones I didn't do before, are going to turn to the side. The ones I already stretched stay facing forward. I bring my arms out to the side. I tip my hips towards the side that I'm stretching, and then I gently come down with my top hand in the air. I'm looking up towards it, shining my heart, twisting my heart so that it's shining towards the sky. I want to try and keep my knee that I'm stretching straight, but if you need to, you can put a little bend in it. Whichever feels most comfortable. And squeeze yourself up, shake it out. Great job! We're out of time for today, but next week we'll keep reading to see more about what happens in My Daddy is a Pretzel. Thanks for tuning in and doing PE with me. I hope you have a great rest of your day.